This is Sessions with Sara Cate and Ashley, a podcast that explores the feelings, emotions, and experiences of what it means to be human in this world. This podcast is intended for educational purposes only and is not meant to replace therapeutic services of any kind. Please refer to the list of references if you need support.
And before you dive in, please like, subscribe, comment, share with anyone you think might also connect with today's session. Our goal is to reach as many people as possible, and we are endlessly grateful for your continued support. So, let's get to it. Woo! Okay. All right.
Yep.
We should go. They're waiting.
Who's waiting?
I don't know, everybody. The world.
What happened here?
We're waiting.
Okay, here we are.
It's season 2.
The world is ready for season 2 of Sessions with Sara Cate and Ashley. We apologize. YouTube would not allow us to go live because we were not verified, whatever that means.
YouTube has not verified us yet.
I know that we're
really techie over here. We didn't know that we had to be verified.
we had no idea.
So in 5 hours we could go live, but not right now.
Not now. So
here we are.
here we are. Season 2.
Season 2.
Tasty treats.
Tasty
We
treats.
have our treats in tow. And Ashley and I have been anxiously anticipating this launch. We went into this season far more prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of this little beginning.
But even that, what's funny is like that was still way more prepared.
I'm not even sweating.
I don't know.
So
Look at how we've grown.
Look at how party mode Ashley is activated.
Yeah. Pink.
If you've seen one of my Instagram stories, there were these 2 chickens that were dancing, and one of them had a very big feathers and heart glasses. And I said, Ashley, which one do you think that you are? So Ashley promptly went out and bought heart glasses. We'll do a side by side of it.
I had just really felt like I connected to the chickens.
She did. That's how excited she was. Chicken energy for this. So today we are going to talk about some revisiting some of season 1, highlights for us.
Yeah. Kind of like where we were and where we are now.
Yeah, the difference,
yeah,
in doing this.
Stuff, so.
Couple things that we're really excited for about season 2. What else?
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome. We're gonna revisit that because it doesn't go away.
No, and maybe so when we had the whole thing written out for launching season 1, we were gonna launch with okay, why are we doing this and who are we? And then we went to go launch and we were like, holy shit. Can you swear on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know.
We might get that.
We're gonna get banned. Not verified. We're gonna get banned
anywhere.
But anyways, the imposter syndrome came up, and so we not redid everything, but we halted everything, and we recorded a brand new episode that was episode 0, because we already had episodes 1 through 4 ready to go. And we just stopped it and we're like, nope, we're recording episode 0, which was imposter syndrome. And then we even revisited it later in the season about, here we are. We know that we believe in the messages that we want to send and the messages that we want to share. But how are we, who are we to do that? And she would talk about certain things and I'd be like, are you joking? Everybody needs to hear what you're saying, and we would do that for each other. Each other, because it just was it's one of those things that's really there. And I feel like one of the things that we wanted to do from the beginning was always stay authentic. And that was really us working through we want to provide resource, and we want people to have these tools that in case they don't have access, or just to get people aware that there is help out there. But we wouldn't be being truthful if we were like, yeah, everything is rainbows and butterflies over here. I look like it today.
She looked like, and I mean, but her energy is also rainbow energy. Yeah,
it's really nice of you.
Starting out strong this season in love. Yeah, I think when we planned to do this, like we said it last season, we really took our time with it. We knew it would come into fruition when it was time. We knew it would happen when it was time, and we really you're looking at weird positions. I kind of want to do like a unicorn.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, like it. We really gave it permission to form itself authentically, and so staying, as Ashley was saying, staying true to kind of the authentic quality of it, of not overproducing it, not trying to, like, we would even maybe record episodes, and if then something came up, we would be like, no, we need a different episode, right? We need to do a different session. Like we would even honor what was happening in the world or what was happening in our own lives and kind of reroute based off of that. So it really has been this natural, organic unfolding, which I've really loved. But it doesn't mean that, something I speak about in my practice a lot is with my clients is like, just because something is easy doesn't mean it's what we need. And so, and therefore, then if something's difficult to get, it doesn't mean that it's wrong, right? Like if the doors don't open, if the, it doesn't unfold and it isn't aligned exactly how you want it to be, like that doesn't mean that it's wrong. Right? Sometimes we need to go through the bumps and bruises. Sometimes we need to be rerouted mid direction to something else, and allowing that, the mantra, if it feels gross, it might be growth kind of to come in a little bit, because even with Ashley and I and deciding to do this, and there were clunky kind of bumps along the way where we had to re-navigate something or do something different. Mind you, i.e., perfect example, our third microphone of this journey. Like, and we've upgraded every time, but
we have,
there just have been these evolutionary kind of parts of this that had we tried to control it, had we tried to organize it, we probably would have gotten way more anxious, way more irritated, way more frustrated with the process. And this process has felt simple.
Yeah.
With difficulty, but simple, even in that, so I just think giving, maybe starting kind of from there as we go into season 2, recognizing like, maybe we've recorded 30 some odd episodes, but like we're still going into this with a beginner's mind.
Totally.
And like just kind of we don't know what's going to come.
Yeah. And there are some episodes where like in terms of prep, maybe we like think about like goals of like what we want to say, or if there's like a really poignant message that we want to make sure comes across, but otherwise we don't script it and we don't really edit unless we're like pausing to let Cedar outside. Really, that's the only, like, I'll take out like that dead space of us just like while we're waiting for her, but otherwise we don't edit it. And we do that on purpose because there's a lot of times that like I'll listen and I'll like watch myself like processing something as I'm like speaking, and that's like the real world. Like oftentimes I don't know, again, like we can have like these like messages that we want to make sure we get across, or like when we decide on a topic, there's always a reason why we're deciding on the topic, but like we don't have a full script because that would be like fake kind of, like we wouldn't,
not that scripted, then great and wonderful.
Yeah, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean.
But for us,
as we're, because the whole goal of this was to like work through things in real time with you.
Have the conversation.
Yeah. So like we're not going to plan out like, okay, I'm going to say this and then you're going to say this, because then we're not working through, we're not processing as we go. That's what I meant by that. Not that like having a script is bad.
Yeah. I'm gonna be blackballed from podcasts, YouTube, Facebook. Find us nowhere. No, but you're so right. Like we want to leave it unedited, not to be, trying to go against the grain or doing something different, but we want it to be unedited because we're very unedited people. and that's probably one of the reasons why people connect to us so much in real life and in our own work, because we don't put a lot of glitz and glamour around things. We don't pretend to have it figured out.
Mhm.
We don't posture in a way that makes, creates a power differential. Or we try not to as much as we can. And so us coming in here and sharing this information comes from very deeply personal places and a ton of lived experience with clients. And even regardless of all of that, then still comes, the imposter syndrome. And I think I've heard that a lot recently in my own community. Like, I have friends starting different things, and like, I almost am like, yeah, let's celebrate some of what the imposter syndrome gives us, which means that we're doing something different, and different is scary. And like, how can you let yourself then be in kind of the excitement of the new, like the novel, the something different? Like, you don't know what the outcome is. That gives you possibility, right? And possibility creates that creative energy.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like even us sitting here, with season 2, session 1, that was really hard. To be like, what are the next weeks going to unfold for Ashley and I? We have no idea.
Yeah.
And while it can be like daunting, if I look up that mountain and I'm like, oh God, we got to give some good stuff. Also, no, we don't. We just give what we have. And then we look back and are like, what, like we did that with season 1 when we looked back at all, was it 32 episodes?
I think so.
We like looked back at 30, we're like, what? While we were going, we didn't even have a number in our head when we started of what we were going to record.
Yeah.
And then we
had
like,
no clue.
we were like,
and then we were like,
32?
when are we done? Is this the end
Is
of
this
season 1?
Is this season 1? Okay, this is season 1.
And then it felt like, yeah, that was season 1. And then even as we were prepping for season 2, like we recorded a couple episodes and we were like, nope, scrapping them, because it just wasn't, we kind of got into that, like, okay, we're going to do this and this and this and this and this. And then it was like, it didn't make any sense. And that's when we decided that we would go live, and we all saw how well it turned out.
Well,
but
I think there are 3 of you here.
There's 5 now.
Look 6. At that. One of them might be
season 2. Oh, Michael. That's so nice.
So we're so grateful that you tuned in. We're so grateful that you're here, that you hung on through season 1, and that you're going to journey with us in season 2. I do think that there's a couple things that we'll kind of wander our way through. This isn't probably going to be a terribly long sesh, but things to orient you to that I'm really excited about. And then maybe Ashley, you can share what you're excited about. We, number 1, have a new microphone. So I would love to hear everyone's feedback in real time on how great it is. Please tell me it's great. Number 2, we are going to have music that carries us in and out of our podcast now, thanks to the amazing Carrie Lynch. Shout out to Carrie. I have been dear friends with this woman since we were 6 years old, and she has done music for decades, literally, because now we're that old. And she had a song called Gut Feeling. We're going to link it, which is a very appropriate song for our work, since we talk about our intuition and what's in our bodies and our sensations. And she has allowed us to use her music as the intro and outro. So I'm very excited about that. For some reason, that makes, like, I sent to Ashley, I was like, I feel legit now. Like, there's something about the music that solidifies a little bit of,
I know,
what we're doing here. Like, I loved kind of the Elmer's glue and popsicle sticks that we use most of the time.
Yeah.
But like, this kind of feels like we have 2 feet on the ground now.
I know. And it's also like the perfect song.
Yeah.
Like, it is, both of us were like, oh,
we just felt it.
That is it. And so I think it's representative of us, like, prepping for the session. Like when we like sit down and get together and like, we're like, okay, we're going to, like, we get the computer set up, the mic all set up. And it's like, we have a little ritual that we do in the music is like our little ritual to start it for you guys now. And it truly, I can't wait for you to hear it because I don't, it's so strange because like Sarah and I were like, we had a Spotify list at one time where we were like, okay, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. But like, what will it be? And then we got it, and I don't know what I was expecting.
I didn't either.
I didn't have like any expectations, but I was like, oh, that's
it.
If I couldn't have like picked a more like a better song for us to like enter into the session.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And for that, and just to talk about energy, right? Like what we feel in our systems and kind of linking those two things together. It's really, to me, it feels like when something is quote unquote right. I use that term loosely, but when something feels like it is for me, I feel a very strong gravitational force in my body. For me, everything kind of settles down towards the earth.
Yeah.
Like I feel this kind of landing on solid ground sensation, right? And that for me is always a telltale sign.
Yeah.
That like, oh, this is the thing. And sometimes even it might be the thing I didn't want, but I can still track in my own body. Oh yes, like this is for me. This I wanted and I was very excited about. But it's so cool to be able to, that Ashley and I both had that same experience with it when Carrie sent it over. Because it just shows me this trusting this process.
It's so good.
Yeah. And I don't think we were ready for it before now.
No. No. I don't think so either. I think, going off of that too, like what we're excited for this season, I am really excited. So one of the things that we did really talk about is like, okay, our goal for this season is to always make sure, and we had this goal for season 1 too, but I think that it has a deeper meaning now, or a little, I don't know what the words are, but like really making sure that we spend time bringing it back to the body on a deeper level. So like, we've talked about topics for season 2, and some of them are going to be part 2 from season 1, where like, all of the topics that we talk about could be like days,
multiple part long. Yeah.
Right. Like we could sit here all day, which maybe we will. Maybe we'll have a podcast marathon. 24 hours of Sara Cate and Ashley. She's gonna hate me. We won't do that. I'll be sleeping.
They will cancel us. 24 hours.
But for season 2, that's one of the things that we are really like excited to bring more of, is like deepening that understanding. Because again, a lot of the episodes in season 1 are like the intros. And now we get to like just keep diving in deeper and deeper. And, her and I are both always on this journey of getting to know ourselves better. And what does that look like? And how do we love ourselves better? And as we go through that, we get to like bring this to you and help you discover all of that. And I'm just really excited for that part.
Yeah, that was some of the feedback that we did receive, that there were actually people who wanted more tangible tools to put into action the practices that we were talking about, right? Because even my clients, I shared, I think in one of the sessions that we've recorded, that I'm working with some new people that really have never explored their internal world, never explored their sensations. And so it really can seem like a crazy concept. Like I had one client ask me, like, you can feel gratitude in your body.
Yeah.
So it can be a very crazy concept when that's not your internal world. And when I say that, I mean like the sensations that are coming up for you that have something to say, that are showing you something, you're feeling something about whatever you're experiencing. And to be able to understand that and to not have it seem so unfamiliar or scary or whatever it is, our goal is to really kind of help create these conscious conversations around how our external world, how hard it is to be human, to put that into ways we can care for ourselves, we can understand ourselves better, so that way in turn we can act how we want to in the world. We talk a lot about in somatics, so much of our reaction to things comes from our lived experiences and our trauma, really. And when we can turn our reactions to responses, that's when we really understand what's going on for ourselves, and we can take care of ourselves and then respond to a situation. And that really puts us in a place of power when we move from reaction and reacting to what's happening to responding. And that's really a big goal of ours this season, is to help support understanding yourself, your internal worlds, and maybe even just developing a new connection to who you are.
Yeah.
Right. This person today.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, who knows what else is going to
And
come.
what else?
I mean, like, we're both in very different spots than when we started.
Oh my God.
I think back to like our intro episode and I was like, what? I mean, obviously parts of that.
We were like both living in different places.
Yeah. Like,
it was nuts.
Literally, pretty much everything is different, and it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
To think about that.
Yeah.
You know, and like
beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And as we like go through season 2, like what these new experiences will bring out in our conversations, which is again why we, you know, because like Sara Cate said earlier, we totally rearranged one day to like talk about something really important that was happening in the world, because we felt like, well, neither one of us we were unwell. We were not doing well. And in fact, here's the thing, we recorded an episode that had no sound, right? That one had no sound, right? Yeah, appropriately so. It just like matched what was happening, but we rearranged literally everything because we were like, nope, we got to talk about this now. Like, this feels important to talk about now. And you know, it's always like, that's like my favorite part, is I think just seeing where we're at when we record the episodes. And then because it's like always what is meant to come out comes out. Yeah.
And we did, because we even sat down and structured. I think maybe the invitation here too in sharing this is for you to apply some of, if it feels appropriate, like some of this kind of flexibility. And when I was a yoga teacher, I used to use this a lot in cueing students. I would say, you know, be firm in your intention and free in your form, because we can have an idea.
Yeah.
And we'll say, I have to do these 6 things to get to step 7, right? And we miss the 90% of what's happening in possibility when we're so focused and fixed on the process and how to do it and staying in that really rigid structure. But if we stay with our intention, like let's say it's like, I want to negotiate a new relationship to my body. I don't know how that's going to be yet. I don't know what I'm going to do to access that. I don't know what it might be, right? And giving permission for that journey to evolve you to where you wake up one day and realize, wow, I really do have a different relationship with my body now.
Yeah.
Because that kind of like evolving as you go.
Yeah.
We get new information every day.
Totally. And it's like,
and then we have to take it in.
Yeah. It's like all of those, because we're just conditioned that everything has, this is this first step, and then the second step, and then the third step, and you have to follow it this way, and you have to do it like this, and you have to look like this while you do it. And then you see those like charts that's like, you know, like the path to success is not like straight up, it's like all circled and like all over the place, and then you end up like where you're meant to be. And if we could just, you know, embrace a little bit more of that. And it's, when we say this, right, it's like, and this is what this podcast is about, is it's not, this is just like, we're talking about the things that make us human. We're talking about like the journeys that form who we are. It's not easy all the time. The path that goes like this is not easy. And yet it's exactly what we need when we need it. And I just had a client this morning texting me, asking her, she just went through something pretty big, and she goes, it was a beautiful hell that I went through, but I'm so glad that I did it, because who I am now is completely different. It's like a miracle has occurred. You know, it's like she was really in it, and she was really in it. Like, it was big. And then over here, she's like, wow, I am in just a completely different place, and I'm so grateful for myself. And that is like what she was saying, is like, one day you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I do have a different relationship. It's like, you know, one day you wake up and you're like, oh, okay. Or one day, you know, like you go through the day and you're like, wow, I didn't tell myself that I looked ugly today. You know, like I loved myself better today. And it's not about like these big grandiose actions. And we have a session on that actually. Don't we?
Yeah.
In season 1. Yeah. About like, it's not
incremental changes.
Yeah. And it's just so once you find however that works for you, right? And this is what we're here to help you do is like, how do you feel it in your body? Where do you feel it? How can you yourself find resource to support you? Once you find that and are able to kind of then start moving through that, it's just like, I don't know, there's nothing like it. It's like my wish for everyone.
Oh my, well, and even this morning, you know, my partner asked me if I was excited about recording this today. And like, I couldn't just be like, yeah, I'm so stoked, because I was nervous. I was legitimately anxious because we're doing something that we've never done before live. I didn't just go. But like, for me, whenever I do something new, I'm anxious. I'm scared. I don't know, you know, because it's the unknown. And like, to try to tell myself in that moment, you don't get to be anxious, Sarah. Override it. Be just totally happy and totally excited and totally positive would be me shutting down.
Have you ever done that to yourself?
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was how I functioned for a good percentage of my life, was just shut it down, perform, right?
Yeah.
Put on the smiley face. And as soon as I saw Ashley, my whole system kind of settled, but that's just because who she is in my life is an anchor. But you know, just to you know, even name that, even today, like like I have an excitement about sharing this information. I have a passion for Ashley and I. This is a passion project for both of us. And I was still nervous. I was still scared. And if I had told myself I had to be some other way, I think it would have been a lot harder for me to really actually even settle. Because when it started going kind of sideways at the beginning, I was just like, we'll figure it out. Like,
I know, we really did.
We
literally were like
stressed.
We can't go live on YouTube for another, what it was, 5 hours or something stupid. Like,
yeah, YouTube.
I'm gonna write them a letter. I'm not.
Help them.
But I don't get it. Anyways, besides the point, we just were like, okay, we'll go live on Facebook. And then we were like, how do we do that?
We don't know how to do this.
And then we were like, how do we share the link?
And we just wandered our way through it.
Yeah. So, but it didn't throw us off course. No. And I'm proud of us for that.
Me too.
Because I think before it would have.
Yes.
For sure.
But this, again, so this is the invitation for today.
Yeah.
How clunky and bumbly life can be. How the unfamiliar can be scary. How it can provoke anxiety. How it can challenge your self-belief. It can, you know, every time we do this, I'm like, do I have an offering? Do I have a voice here? Should I even share this? Who do I think I am? That little voice comes in, and what I do, rather than shut it down and shame it, I just kind of like, okay, yeah, you're nervous. And you get to be nervous. Okay, you're anxious. Yep. We're going to be anxious about this. It's scary. Yeah. I don't gaslight myself. I don't ignore it. I acknowledge it. I believe it's valid. And that has taken a lot of work and a lot of time. Yeah. But I, you know, to see even that happen today, I was like, yep, this is why we're doing this. This is why we're showing up in this space, because we want to give permission in whatever way we can to people having their feelings, feeling their feelings, and understanding what they are. Because the relationship that you have to your body is the one that you will have for your whole life. And it is sacred, and it is scary to start. But that is what we are here for. So if you have ideas of sessions you would like to hear about, or what you want us to talk about, let us know. Please reach out, send us a message in all the platforms that we have available to you. But also, if you have questions or curiosities too about an episode that we've already done, please don't hesitate to reach out. You know, this is to create a conversation, to open a dialogue with people. So please let us know. And like always, we have a list of resources that are available to you. If you're looking to start to do this work with someone, also, we can help you access that as well. So
season 2.
Season That's why we have the twos, by the way. I don't know if you got that.
That's why.
These are made for children. So that's why
They're made for children. And I told Sara Cate, these are children's. I have a really big head, you guys.
But she still went rocking the children's
The
sunglasses.
children's ones fit. I was
Okay.
really surprised that I thought they were gonna like be like this on my hands because it's true.
But look at this.
Okay.
Look at, we are here.
And
We are ready to celebrate season 2. We hope you will join us. And none of this has discouraged you from wanting to listen to the rest of our episodes.
wow. Okay, Sara Cate, love you.
Love you. Season 2, Sessions with Sara Cate and Ashley. Coming at you.
Okay, bye.